Take
live. Can you hear us?
Happy Labor Day. Of course, Hannah will check it out.
Yes.
So what were we saying?
This is our part 3 to our series, How to Preserve Your Energy as an Entrepreneur.
Yes.
It's so very, very important. Again, at the end of the day, all you have is the energy, right? Because we all have the same amount of time.
How much energy do you put in your day?
Yes.
So that's what we're talking about.
It boils down to energy. And we've already covered your health. We've already covered exercise.
Hello. What's going on?
Hey, how's it going? So now we're going to talk about our morning ritual. The morning ritual is crucial. All the greats, Darren Hardy, what was it? Zig Ziglar,
Jim Rohn, Brian Tracy,
Tony Robbins,
Brendon Burchard.
All of them talk about a morning.
Tag them all.
Tim Ferriss. They all talk about a unique morning meditation or ritual that they do to set up their day right. And so we've created our own little thing and we wanted to share it with you.
So waking up early, and early means between 5 and 6 a.m. That's early to us.
Sometimes depends on what's going on in our life. Of course, we listen to our body, though. If we make a commitment, then we stick to it.
Yes.
Right. And so whenever the alarm clock goes off, if you're hitting the snooze,
it's time to wake up. So what we're saying is how we start our morning routine off, a little bit of coffee, a little bit of tea.
And so again, let's go back to the alarm. So like if you think about what it does unconsciously
to your day.
Do you understand the morning ritual sets your day up for success? It gets your head into a really powerful mindset. I know that when I don't do it, we're not on the same page.
That's for sure.
When we don't do it together, I tend to be more reactive.
No.
Sometimes.
Not at all.
Oh yeah. And I tend to have more of ups and downs with my emotion. I notice that I'm not as efficient.
It's true.
Because you're kind of all over the place. Part of our morning ritual, we talk about the 3 priorities for focus that we're going to focus on that day and the week.
Goals, intentions, and also gratitude.
Yeah.
Our gratitude list.
So whether you do this or not, try it for a week and see what it does in your life. Because we've had lots of our friends and lots of our students and a lot of the people that we know try this and they get phenomenal results. They're happier, they have more energy, they find that they eat better throughout the day. It just brings conscious awareness to everything that you do.
So first thing, the alarm goes off, pop up out of bed.
Pop up out of bed, no matter what you feel like.
Yep.
Right?
Because if you hit the snooze button, you've already started your day slow and it's already procrastination. Think about it. It's already an unconscious procrastination trigger.
Yes. And it's unconsciously telling your unconscious mind, okay, I'm going to procrastinate today.
Yep.
And so then what we do is we make our bed because it's a quick and simple task that feels really good, that gets done. And everything is it's setting your day up for success, that you're going to finish things.
Yep.
Right? Then we go and sometimes we have tea and sometimes we have coffee.
Make coffee very quickly and then head to Barton Springs. We load up the dogs and we start our swim.
So sometimes we don't do Barton Springs. Sometimes we'll just do a dog walk, or sometimes we'll do a roll out with a roller.
Stretching.
So it doesn't necessarily need to be a full-on workout. It could just be 8 minutes of stretch, whatever gets your body moving. You want to get all that dense energy that sometimes we collect throughout the night
to
some flow through your body, to where it primes the body to house the mental stuff that you're going to do in the meditation.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
And so after we do the movement piece, then we come and we sit down, whether it be at Barton Springs outside, which is really, really cool because then you get grounded to the earth, or we do our meditation pillows.
Call it our morning prime.
Yes.
So that consists of
breathing,
which
drops you down in. It's another way of getting yourself into your body.
Centered, brings consciousness, brings awareness. It's also chi. You're bringing chi into the body, as well as a forgiveness technique.
Yes.
Ho'oponopono.
So we do that. It's an energy technique that we imagine this big ball light coming down through our body and doing all these healing things. We also cut the connections of people that we have connected with. By the way, if you're a coach or a trainer or facilitator, if you work with people,
you meet a lot of people on a daily basis.
It's a really, really powerful way for you to cut those energy unconscious connections that we have, because a lot of times they're draining you.
So the next time you see them, you can see them as someone as they show up anew, like a new person with any of the old stuff.
Yes.
So that's really powerful. It's kind of an empowering way to look at someone.
So we teach this in our master practitioner training in our HUNA section. For now, one of the great exercises that I like to do for some of our students or clients, we give them just a journaling exercise. So you breathe, you can do 8 ha breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. And imagine that you're breathing in all the clarity and all the healing and all of the good stuff, and you're blowing out anything that's not serving you. Right? And each breath you let something go even more and more and more. And then I like to do a journaling exercise, and I call it What's Up With Me. And then I write down, what am I seeing, hearing, and feeling, and just dump it all out.
What's up with me?
What's up with me?
That's right.
Yeah. What am I seeing, hearing, and feeling? And then whenever I look at that page of what's up with me, if there's any negativity, then I circle it. And then what I ask myself, we've said this before and I'll say it again, it's a great reframe. What do you want instead?
What do you want instead? So many of us are programmed to focus on what we don't want, thinking that we will avoid it.
Yes.
That's the trouble with thinking about what you don't want. You tend to get it.
So then write all those things down and then really breathe into it. Breathe into it. You could do another 8 ha breaths into what you want instead. And this really gets you into a place where you can do the creative faculty. And so part of our meditation that we like to do after we do our Ho'oponopono and what's up with me, sometimes I like to pull a tarot card just to figure out what's going on in my energy if you want to get a little out there and some woo. We like to do a gratitude exercise.
At least 3 to 5 things we're grateful for. Could be just of our relationship.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for my partner, and she's an amazing person. And the more greatness I pull out of her, the better I feel about myself too.
Heck yeah.
Isn't that interesting how that works?
Yes. When we do our meditations together, we're facing each other. So I always imagine that my heart chakra is opening up and I'm sending him all the love and healing and filling his body up with love and light. And I'm sending him all these messages of love and gratitude for our relationship. You can actually do that, by the way, with people that you love. During the gratitude, when you write down those people's names, you can open up your heart chakra because you have all this energy of life force energy in you, and you can send out love connection to them.
Yes. So this could be a great idea if you're with a partner or spouse and you want to get a little deeper connected to them in the morning.
Yeah.
Start the morning off different. Try this meditation and then the gratitude, 3 to 5 things you're grateful for. Could be about your job, your business, your kids, your family, most importantly, your life and the small things, but most importantly, your partner. So
yeah, and I also, by the way, whenever I'm in a poopy mood throughout the day, if I'm going through something, or
that never happens.
If I'm never being or maybe I'm projecting out on my husband.
just tiny bit.
Yeah, sometimes.
It's not often.
One of the things that I remember, the biggest, the fastest way to get yourself out of a victim consciousness or disempowerment or projecting on others is having gratitude. So immediately when I find that I'm getting triggered or I'm not being my best self, then I like to connect. Just like I was saying, I open up my heart chakra and I imagine the energy flowing from my body to my husband and supporting him. Or maybe he's not having a very good day and I can hear him on the phone having an uncomfortable conversation with maybe somebody in his business or other relationships. And I send him love and light. So this is something that you can do throughout the day to keep you in an empowered state. So it doesn't just start with it starts at the seed level in the morning and you can bring it throughout the day.
So after our gratitude list, then what?
Then I write down the 3 things I'm going to focus on. Maybe it's for the whole week or it could be just for the day. 3 things. Because a lot of times.
Intentions, yeah.
Yeah.
Priorities,
goals, whatever you want to accomplish. You could have tasks that you want to get done. Just be wary of that, having checklists of things, all the things, because there could be things on there that don't need to happen right now.
We think they're priorities.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not.
Yeah.
Right?
So focus on 1 or 2 things and throughout the day, really focus on getting 1 thing done. Maybe 3 things for the week and 1 thing for each day. Because if you have all these different things, this is what I used to do. I would overwhelm myself and create this huge long list. And then I didn't get all of it done. And then I used it as a tool to beat myself up.
Overwhelm.
And that wasn't serving us either.
So get specific on a few things that you know are high priorities. Put those into your mental awareness. And then the most exciting part.
Then we do our timeline.
We set goals.
Yes.
Put goals for the week, Could be the month, the quarter, the year. We do a goal setting session like this when we do our meditation every single day.
For 3 goals.
We
and
do goals daily because goals should motivate us.
Yes, that's the best way to seriously pump yourself up and get motivated.
If your goals don't motivate you, chances are you need new goals.
Yes.
They should motivate us. They ought to. They ought to motivate us.
Should language.
They should. Don't should on yourself.
Well, they're your goals. So, reevaluate them if they're not making you motivated, because
I've had goals that didn't motivate me. I was like, man.
Because maybe they're for someone else, or because you should feel like you should do it.
I thought I wanted it.
Right. So we set 3 goals. Sometimes I will set a goal for the week and the month, and then just a goal for the day. Sometimes, depending upon what's going on in your life, as a business owner, entrepreneur, or just anyone having the human experience, you may just set a goal to show up a certain way to yourself, or maybe show up a certain way to your spouse, or maybe just be kind and being heart-filled that day. Depends on whatever's going on. Sometimes it's something huge. Maybe it's, attracting that $50,000 client. It depends. It's really entirely up to you. We break down the goal setting and how to really flush out intentions and goals and that whole process. And so if you want to learn more about that, we do have a free offering of our audio that we do.
Ooh, yeah. So we have an audio that we're going to be giving away, a free audio on the process, the secret of creating success, the secret of success, the secret to success.
Yeah.
And that's simply dropping in a goal in your timeline. It's the visualization process that we walk you through with our audio, or our voices, I should say. Mm-hmm. And it's cool because it's like a double induction, positive, powerful stuff embedding right into your unconscious mind. Only powerful, only positive, prosperity, abundance, success, health, wealth, all those things. Sometimes that's really good to hear from our unconscious mind.
Yes, it is.
Most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time.
So then we set our goal. And then after that, sometimes I'll go through my journal and figure out, what are the things that I want to have going on in the background, like for affirmations throughout the day from the stuff that I wrote down. And those are the things that I remember to say to myself throughout the day. And then at the end of the day, we also do an evening. We didn't talk about this. Most people just emphasize the morning ritual, but we also have a journaling exercise in the evening.
And reading time, so it kind of winds down before we go to bed.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if you do exercise in the morning, you'll find yourself for the first few days a little more tired in the afternoon, and it forces you to go to bed early because then you're tired. But then you pop back up early. So it's a good little routine to get on.
So in the evening, the one that we've been doing for a while is really, what did we learn? What were the wins and what were the challenges and what were the learnings from those? Those are your gold, by the way. All the things that you learn from each day will pile up and create the wisdom of who you are.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And by the way, if you solve everything by getting the learning throughout the day, if you had not the most fun days, that sometimes happens in business.
Challenging.
Yes.
Struggling.
The metaphorical stuff hits a fan. By being able to write all that stuff down in the evening and taking away from it and finding the gold in it and finding the gift within all the challenges, it puts you in an empowered state. It also allows your body to calm down and allows to get it all out of your head to where then you can get a good night's sleep.
It's possible to have a stuffy day, and this just helps that.
So. Yeah. So that's the thing that we do.
Absolutely.
So we hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, let us know. Put it in the comments. Also, if you are interested in our goal setting audio, let us know as well.
Yeah, we'll put a link. We'll put a link in there.
Yes.
Cool.
So thank you so much for
Happy Labor Day, all.
Happy Labor Day. And let us know how your morning ritual and evening rituals are going.
See ya.
Bye.